Hey A&Pers, this is Dr. Jones with video 2 for the Respiratory Lab. So this is A&P II Lab 3 lecture video 2. Okay. So we were talking about the respiratory system. Here are your plastic lungs. So the apex is the pointy part at the top of the lung. The base is the flat part on the bottom. And you can see that the base of the lung sits on the diaphragm. And here's your spleen. So again, diaphragm. When we get to it, this light blue line here will be our parietal pleura. Parietal pleura all in here, and also between the lung and the diaphragm. And how do you spell diaphragm? Right, with a G. D-I-A-P-H-R-A-G-M. So the singular of apex is A-P-E-C. The plural is apices, A-P-I-C-E-S, if you can see that. The base is the bottom. The hilum is this area right here where all of the tubing goes in and out of the lungs. So you've got your, see there's a left lung, a left primary bronchus right here. And then you've got two blue pulmonary arteries, because remember we're in the lungs, so we're in the pulmonary circuit. So they will ask these questions. And then the two red pulmonary veins. The cardiac notch is at the front of the left lung because the heart sits, it crosses the midline, but it's a little more towards the left, so it takes up some of that space there. The left lung has 2 lobes and the right lung has 3. So both lungs have a superior lobe and an inferior lobe, and they are divided by an oblique fissure. Oblique means diagonal. So superior lobe, inferior lobe. Oblique fissure separates off the inferior lobe. The right lung is slightly bigger because it's not making space for the heart, and it has an extra third lobe in the middle, which is called the middle lobe. And so we have a second crack here. This one is the horizontal fissure, and it is largely horizontal. The lobules, each little lump here is a lobule. And the parietal pleura we mentioned is this little light blue line, all this in here and in there. So this is one lobule. This is our lobule model. And first we have the tube in the top. This is the bronchiole. These pink stripes are smooth muscle. They're little fascicles of smooth muscle, little groups. Bronchial mucus gland, this green thing, I think has been removed from the new lab list. The alveolar duct, and the alveolar duct is hard to see on this part, but you see this tube like right here and right here with the smooth muscle on it. The tube with the smooth muscle around it is called the alveolar duct. And that it ends here at the alveolar sac. So this black area in the center is the alveolar sac, and each of these hollows around it are the alveoli. That's the plural, 1 alveolus, 2 alveoli. So these marshmallows here are all also alveoli, they just haven't been dissected open. These black lines here are all elastic fibers, and we talk about the elastic fibers in the lung quite a bit with the recoil. That's how you exhale in eupnea. And I think these smooth muscle, individual smooth muscle cells have been pulled out of the note set too, but if you do happen to see those little gold threads, that's what they are. And then the visceral pleura will be on this model. So visceral pleura on a lung lobule, parietal pleura on the lung mannequin model. The pulmonary arteries we know are blue, and the pulmonary veins we know are red. Now here's the kicker. In the picture in your lab book, they're switched, but we're going by the color. And the pulmonary arteries are always blue, and the pulmonary veins are always red. So here are the pulmonary capillaries. And I like even better the one on the back because you can very clearly see the pulmonary artery bringing in deoxygenated blood, going to a capillary bed around each alveolus, and the pulmonary veins carrying oxygenated blood away. All right, so that's page 21 in my book. 22 is just slides, and we have that. So that's the rest of respiratory, and I will start a new video for digestive. Education must go on. Dr. J out.